Alright, hey guys, this is a YouTube video for Pathfinder Pest Control. And usually on this video we talk about how to deal with pests, how to get rid of pests, and what products to use, what techniques is the best, etc, etc. But here today we're going to do a review on a cooler I bought and a cooler I made. And so these are both kind of portable air conditioners. This is a kind of DIY homemade air conditioner, and this is the icybreeze cooler air conditioner. I saw it on Instagram at first and just did a lot of research and ended up ordering it. Now this is something I made first and wasn't really happy with how it turned out, and then I bought this. But I'm gonna go over the pros and cons of both of these. So it's not to say I like this one better, but I just didn't like this one first and then I got this one. So here we go. Here are a few things to note when when buying or trying to make one of these. So, and stay to the end, I'll have a good tip, or a tip I haven't found on anybody else's video that they really don't talk about this item. Detail on this item that I haven't seen anybody talk about on any videos. So just stay to the end, I'll mention it at the end. So here we go, guys. Okay, so I made a list. The first thing is noise, or how loud it is. This right here, homemade, is louder than this. This is a little quieter, and these I made specifically to go in a vehicle. So in my vehicle I wanted this right here I made first, and it was very loud. I could not hear anybody on the phone, and it was hard to listen to music as well. So but when I bought this one is a lot quieter. It's not silent by no means. It still makes a little noise, but it's a lot less quieter. Another thing, pros and cons to each of these, is the price. So with the battery, this came out to be about $400. And that was including shipping. It's around $400. I think you can get a different, more upgraded model, and I think that's an additional like $30, $40, I think. But I just got the basic one, which it didn't seem like it was too many more features to upgrade, so I just bought the basic one. So this was around $400. Now this was around $150 to $200 to make, and I say that because of the motor was about $100. I think the cooler was maybe about $30, and then some of the knickknacks and different things that you need to use different things on it to came out to like I said, between $150 to $100. So you might get this motor a little cheaper. I think I paid $100, but it might be a little cheaper now. You can find it on Amazon. I'll link a description to both these items on this page or on this video. So anyway, so yeah. So that's another thing to kind of realize is price. Now power. This right here produced a lot more cooling power than this. This came out, they said it was about as strong as a car vent on high, like one car vent on high. This seemed about more than one, maybe two or three. This was blowing out a lot of cool air versus this one. And so I wasn't really happy with how much air this was, but it was more convenient, smaller, and just seemed more practical for me in my situations. But this seemed to be more powerful, and it cooled quicker, and so I think this would cool a bigger area quicker. So that's one thing to consider when building this versus this. And You might get a more powerful, less powerful engine, a bigger vent, smaller vent on it. So, and you can probably see the comparison versus that hose. Yeah. So anyway, that's another comparison or pro and con. So the features. Now this is a big thing in the features of both of these units. Now, one thing about this is if you're a handyman, if you're building it, you can kind of customize it to how you want. There's like 2 or 3 different builds on videos on YouTube. So, but if you're handy enough, you can kind of customize it how you want. Again, you can maybe get a bigger motor, a smaller motor. This vent, I couldn't find the vent that they recommended, so I had to buy this vent and buy some more kind of tools that were a little, and I made it to where this is where you can kind of move it around, which some of the videos doesn't have that feature, but so let me open it. Now you can maybe wire it to your home if you want, but this was only able to be wired to the car. So and even as I wired it to the car, it even seemed like it was getting a little hot, like the wire itself. This one over here I didn't have any problems with. But but yeah. So that's kind of the that's the kind of, again, it's custom built, so you would have to create features on this yourself, versus this came with a lot of features. Of course, one feature that of course these doesn't have versus this is that this is truly portable because it has a battery on it. The battery lasts for about 6 hours. So, and this has adjustable tube, which this was kind of my selling point on buying it, that this was able to move around, and if you want, keep it straight, and it has some vents in the front. Another selling point for me is that the biggest feature is that this has a heat exchanger, a radiator inside, so you have to keep water in it, keep ice and water in it at all times, so that the water can go up into the heat exchanger, cool it down, help cool the air down, and it goes back down and kind of recirculates. So that's pretty cool. Like, of course, this one doesn't do that. It just uses the ice, uses the air that's cooled by the ice and just forces it out to cool down. So this, you probably did. I did need a little more ice than this. This was a little more consistent when using it for long periods of times, but you know, to each their own. And so those are kind of some of the features that are pretty cool. So again, another feature, pro and con. This is I was only able to hook this up to my vehicle. Again, this is portable, so you can take this anywhere. I have you get to choose between a 6 and 10 hour battery. I chose the 6 hour battery. So yeah, so those are a few things, pros and cons for both of these coolers. Now, I will say this seemed to push a lot more colder air quicker and more powerful than this. Now, this is more consistent, and it's more portable, so to each your own, you know, for whatever application you guys want to make is what you'll have to kind of deal with on purchasing both of these. But again, those are some of the pros and cons of building one on your own and buying this. Now, another tip I would say is that, of course, this was pretty easy to buy. I did a lot of research, but it was pretty easy to buy. It shipped very quickly. Some of the parts I could not find, so I did have to go to a few stores. So that 150 goes up to 200 if you add gas. And it did take a little more finagling because I didn't have all the tools everybody has on YouTube. You know, I don't have a handyman shop like a lot of guys have on YouTube. So I did have to kind of figure out some different things. I had to use glue on certain areas where I think you were supposed to use different kind of material. So yeah, so those are kind of pros and cons. And of course, this took, you know, a couple hours to build and drive over and get the parts. Of course, this didn't. And so one tip I want to stress about this, and the tip I talked about, one thing that videos aren't talking about is that you have to buy their battery to make it portable. Now they have a special battery, and so they say not to use the battery in drill, like drill batteries. It looks the same, it fits the same, but they said don't use those because those are made for strong bursts of power that a drill would need to fix something or to drill something in, versus this is a battery that has continuous power for the hours that it can be on. So that is another thing. So you can put another battery in it. It might, they say it could damage the unit though. So I didn't want to risk that, so I just bought their battery. And that's one thing I don't hear anybody else talk about, as well as I think that's about it. I say I think that's about it. So yeah, guys, it comes with a cord to hook it up to your car as well. Those are the settings. So yeah, that's about it. On these two units, again, this right here is it's like an exhaust fan for like a motor or like a jet ski or something, a boat. So yeah, and you know, this, I got a thick material. I got a kind of a middle grade cooler, so it would keep the ice cool. This does seem, it takes a little bit to get colder than this, but again, if you're using the same amount of ice, you're probably going to get the same amount of power or the same amount of coolness, but this is going to blow a lot more cool your way. And so yeah, so this I wasn't really impressed by as much as the commercial made it seem like, but it works, it's cool. And again, you can take it outside if you want. So, you know, versus this, yeah. And I think that's about it. I did have some wiring issues on this as well. So the wire got hot, so that could be another factor in this. But again, I'm not an electrician. I don't know how to wire stuff. So that might have been my problem versus if anybody else tries to build it. And I think that is about it on both these units I can think of. So I do like it has wheels on it, and it has a handle to carry it, which is pretty cool. And the logos everywhere, you know. But that's about it, guys. So if you have any comments or things I missed on either of these units, put them in the description. Again, check out our channel for pest control tips. Like and subscribe to our channel, we would appreciate it. And that's about it, guys. Thank you. Till next video.